Welcome to the Holistic Mystic Show. My name is Sommer, and I'm an energy alchemist, ceremonial facilitator, and teacher of intuitive development. Here we explore spiritual growth, intuitive gifts, energetic hygiene, and ritual. You'll also hear the behind the scenes of real life walking this path. This is a space where we talk about the deeper work of becoming a clear channel for the divine. If you're someone answering the call of your soul mission, you are in the right place. Let's get deep. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Holistic Mystic Show. My name is Boston. I'm so happy to be here. Today, I wanted to talk about a subject that is pretty important in this arena of intuitive gift development, of being a highly sensitive person, of being someone who is a light worker and a way shower for others. And it is all about energy leaks. So, when I first started, I had to learn this the hard way. When I started opening up to my gifts, my intuition, I had no idea what this really entailed. I knew I was highly sensitive. I knew I was an empath. And if you don't know what an empath is, it means that it is someone who feels the emotions of others around you very strongly. And you could even go a layer deeper. Some people are called conduits. And this is someone who literally will run other people's energy through their own channel. And it can be a big blessing, and it can also be a huge responsibility, and sometimes a curse, right? Or a um I don't want to say a curse, I want to say a hindrance to the person that is a conduit. And I am definitely a conduit. If you're here, you're probably definitely at least an empath, if not conduit. And there is this huge distinction about needing to put up energetic boundaries so that you're not constantly running other people's energies through you. It is a skill set, it is a practice, just like working out. It's a spiritual muscle that you need to learn how to develop. Even I want to call it energetic muscle. I actually like that term. So we just created a new term on the spot. I love it, energy muscle. So when I started opening up to my gifts, I was feeling everyone's energy. I mean, I always had big emotions, and I always could feel those around me. And that definitely had to do with my upbringing. I was definitely from a very young age an empath. I was someone that was emotionally responsible for a lot of the energy in the room. Um, I forget what the term is right now. I'm having a brain fart, but essentially, you are the emotional regulator. That's what it is. You're the emotional regulator for the room. A lot of children who have trauma or have experienced some kind of uh, conditioning or upbringing that you really have to uh, look around the room and really understand the other people's emotions in the room for your safety. This is a skill set that you learn from a very young age. And so in order to feel safe or to survive, we build um this skill. And from a very young age, I was doing that. And I was also connecting to the other world. I saw, gifts, or sorry, I saw with my gifts, they came online from a very young age around like feeling and sensing energy. I remember playing in the basement with a couple of my other friends. We were throwing energy balls to each other. I remember, feeling the energies of the flowers, feeling the energies of the cats in the neighborhood. I was someone that the cats, like I would go outside and call to them at my grandma's house, and they would come running to me. And I kind of like, well, I wanted to be a vet when I was young, but I kind of felt like I was like this neighborhood like healer or like fixer upper to help, you know, m- make the cat's energy better, to make the flowers grow better. And when I started coming really in depth awareness to my gifts when I was actually in church, I went through some leadership classes to learn about our spiritual gifts, learn about discernment, learn about um, uh, angels and visuals and prophecy and things like that. Um, what became very apparent to me was my ability to see and sense through the veil. So I was really connected to these guides. I was really connected to other people, even in this world, this physical realm. I was sensing them. I was really like in tune with them. And then when I started my private practice, where I was actually performing energy work with others, I would feel so intensely that I would just be completely drained afterwards. Um, and I didn't understand why. I thought this was just how it always is. I thought that this is just how it works when you perform energy work. Um, and I had some beautiful mentors, but it through my own trial and error, as well as deepening my training with with a mentor, I learned that I didn't have proper energy boundaries set up. That I was feeling other people's energy and emotions and problems, and people would come to my sessions and just be total energy vampires, and I would let them because I thought that that was what it meant to serve. I thought that that's what it meant to utilize my gifts. And I didn't know that there was a better way, a more sufficient and uh, what is the word? Sustainable way. And so when I started my private practice, I had no idea like the amount of energy that I was leaking. And I mean constantly. I was taking other people's stuff on. I was holding on to it. I was constantly like trying to process emotions, but also experiences, not only for me, but for others. And what I've come to understand over the years is that this, when your sensitivity increases, but your understanding around how energy works doesn't, that creates a huge uh I want to say like problem, or it creates a huge deficit around the amount of energy that you will now have, right? So an energy leak is when your life force gets pulled out of your system into something external. So usually through people, um, um, people around you, you're aware or even unconsciously aware of these toxic people in your life, or when you allow your even loved ones or clients to pull energy from you so that they feel elevated, they feel uplifted, that is a huge energy leak. There's also another aspect of an energy leak when your emotional patterns or your unresolved wounds or your mental loops, uh, your belief system is not complete, and so your energy will actually leak out and seep out. Think of kind of like an egg. So inside the egg is you. You are the little baby chickie. Inside the egg, there's this embryonic fluid that's inside the egg. That is your auric field. So that is, when people say you're in my bubble, it's because on an invisible energetic realm, you literally are. Like, you're in their bubble, you can feel it, they can feel it. Or it's kind of when, like, someone's looking at you and you can sense it, it's because their awareness is in your field, in your auric field. And then the egg around you is your boundaries. And so think of like a cracked egg, and that the egg is leaking out. Right? So we want to seal up those cracks so that it's solid and nothing is your energy, your life force, your chi stays in your field so that you have access to it and you can utilize your energy for you, um and serve others in a way that is sustainable, and you aren't uh giving more than what you receive, or what you can handle. And this goes into a very advanced trainings that we could go into about energy cords, where someone attaches their energy onto you or you onto them, and you might be siphoning energy from other people. They might be siphoning energy from you. And so this creates a crack or a hole in your egg, and so that energy is going to leak out. So, with this lack of awareness and lack of energetic structure, this is where people get into um an issue, right? So the thing about intuitive people is that when you are opening up to your gifts, your sensitivity is increasing, but your awareness and your ability to, or your understanding around how energy works, and your capacity doesn't increase with it. That is where people can have huge energy leaks. So, you feel more, you don't know how to process it, and your system is creating energy leaks in order to basically kind of fix itself. So, or to stay in a survival pattern, or uh, a belief pattern or belief frequency that is aligning where you know how to operate. And so, as you begin to grow, as you begin to expand, increase your consciousness and your awareness, we want to think strategically and also expand how our energetic structure works. So, this is actually something that I go deeper into a masterclass that I'm hosting, because yes, it's about understanding your energy, but it's also learning about how to actually hold your energy. The awareness is the first piece, the understanding is the first piece. Then it's like, oh, well, we have to actually do something about it. How do we fix that? How do we hold our body and our emotions and our life and our belief systems in a sustainable, peaceful, harmonious way so that we have the energy that we need for tasks and for aligned action, to support ourselves, to replenish ourselves without our energy getting disrupted or depleted. The other aspect around this is that You are an energy channel for divine intelligence, for this divine, amazing, miraculous wisdom, whatever you want to call it, right? It could just be loving awareness, or it could be God, or it could be the universe. The thing that is the coincidental, um, synchronistic intelligence that is behind everything that we are all connected to. The divine weaving of the tapestry. The person or the thing or energy or whatever it is that is orchestrating it all. That thing, you are a channel for that. Energy comes through your crown to support you, your body, your path. If you're here, I'm sure it's because you have a path of divine service. You have a soul mission that you are here to fulfill for this lifetime. And understanding your gifts, understanding how your energy works, has to come at the upfront and most foremost. Because once you get that down, no one can stop you. You aren't self-sabotaging yourself anymore. You know how to navigate your own shit, not take on other people's shit, and create a life that you love, liberate parts of yourself, bring yourself back into wholeness so that you can play and enjoy life and feel fulfilled and help make an impact and a difference in the world. But when you have energy leaks, you know, you disrupt this signal, if you will, to the divine. You create congestion in your channel. People call it blocks. I think the word is overused, but you create congestion in your field so that your energy isn't flowing properly, which affects your physical body, which affects your mental health, right? It creates noise in your system. Energy leaks deplenish or deplete you so intensely that you're not going to have what you need, um whether it be creative energy, creativity, being able to channel ideas or content or create beautiful programs or offerings so that you can serve others. Even more than that, like bringing it really down, like to how it affects you. Energy leaks look like always second guessing yourself. The confidence that you would have if you can bring your energy channel into harmony is everything. Because when you feel confident, when you feel sure, when you know how this shit works, no one can stop you, even yourself. But when you're second guessing your intuition, when you feel overwhelmed by your emotions, when you don't have clarity, when you feel disconnected, right? If your energy is constantly leaving your system, you don't have the stability to hold clear guidance from your guides, from the divine, from your highest self. So, common ways that energy leaks show up are overthinking, replaying conversations, trying to manage how others feel, even trying to manage how you feel, right? Because you're trying to hold a tight grasp on your emotions rather than letting them flow through you. Staying connected to people energetically after you have a session with them or you have some kind of divine appointment with them. not having clear boundaries, unresolved emotional patterns. Um, People think that energy leaks are like this big thing that you would notice, but a lot of times they're happening through like your everyday stuff, your everyday habits or patterns, or the way that you approach like your perspective. So it's interesting because the more that you walk this path and you understand how energy works, you understand how emotions work, what emotions are, you understand that these are deeply tied to like wounded parts. If you aren't familiar with IFS, it's called internal family systems, and you'll hear me talk about this a lot. It's something that I'm studying and something that has been so impactful in my own life. Like when you finally understand that your inner child makes up the majority of who you are, how you navigate the world, your self-sabotaging patterns, or on the opposite the side of that, like you have wounded parts, but you also have happy, joyful parts. And they teach you how to play and go jump in puddles and not take life so seriously and have this like unadulterated confidence and worthiness. Um, it's so freeing and liberating. It's been the most impactful thing in my own journey. So, when it comes to our wounded parts, though, like these parts seek external validation. They fear rejection or abandonment. They don't feel safe in their own power because more than likely they weren't modeled or shown that, and the conditioning of um, their childhood environment made them think that way. So that belief is what is deeply driving them. So if we can look at these parts, show them a better way, create boundaries and systems in our life that will help us to actually show up the way we want to, then we can serve at a higher level. Healing these parts is what allows you to actually hold more energy and serve at a higher level. This is a whole rabbit hole, and hopefully you guys are following me because this is the core of the work that we get to do as light workers and highly sensitive people, highly sensitive intuitives that are here to make the world a better place. And this is where capacity comes in. Capacity is your energetic bandwidth. Like the more that we can reparent these parts and show them a better way, the more that we understand how energy works, um, how much we're inputting, like what kind of uh, junk are we inputting, or what kind of greatness are we inputting? How are we, navigating our day? Like I always start the beginning of my day with brainwashing myself in a good way, because ultimately though that inner child, those parts, those um whether they're wounded or they are joyful, these parts, I am the one that has to show up and be the parent that they need me to be. So I have to show up and brainwash myself in a good way so that they can hold more joy. They can be shown a different way. So when we have when we expand our energetic bandwidth, we have more capacity in our more we have more ability to hold um joy, pleasure, peace. We have more ability to hold abundance. We have more ability to hold more energy, more emotions without them being totally derailing our life and our day, right? When we have more energetic bandwidth, we have more ability to hold people, ourselves, without becoming overwhelmed or drained or distorted. impacted. And you might think, oh, it might be impacted in a good way. And yes, that's true. But the goal is to be in your own space. Community is so amazing, but we have to know how to hold our own space so that we can show up authentically. We can speak up. We can share our opinions without them being or needed validated or being swayed. And that is ultimately what's going to make you a magnetic person so that people will show up. They will sign up for your offer. They will want to work with you. Um, and you will be confident in your gifts the more awareness that you have. So, without going too deep into this, because I am going to share this in the masterclass that I've created, it's called Capacity. But essentially, you have energy moving in two different directions at all times. So, what you're taking in and what you're putting out. So, input versus output. Input is what fills you up. It also can drain you, right? Or it could disrupt you. And so you want to be aware of those two things, right? Like what replenishes you, what disrupts you, and more than likely the disruption needs to be filtered, right? Like, and I'll go deeper into this, and so make sure you sign up for the masterclass. But it needs to be prevented from you fully taking that on. Um, it adds to the load essentially. Output is the thing that obviously you're putting out. So it could be aligned, it could be creative, it could be on purpose. It's going to support you as well as you can output in a depleting way, right? Overgiving, people pleasing. Most people are overgiving and also taking in things that drain them. And so if you're not aware of how this works, then you're not going to properly be able to navigate your life in a way that is sustainable or fulfilling or uh what's the word? Joyful, exciting, adventurous. Think about what you want out of life. I'm guessing it's not to be taking in everyone else's stuff or to be so burnt out that you can't function, right? And then all of a sudden you're numb or you're just walking through life like a zombie, right? And it's okay if you're at the point because A, you don't know what you don't know, or B, it's always a good reminder as a human to give yourself some grace and restart. There's always, right now is always a good time, a new chance to start over. So I had mentioned, and I'm going to finish up now. Awareness is so important because it shows you the problem, but we have to learn how to work with our energy. We have so that we can actually change it. More than likely, you're absorbing energies that's not yours, feeling drained after interactions with people, second guessing what you're receiving, like what intuitive messages or um, sensing things or feeling things. And it could be a wounded part, actually. That's why it's important to have these conversations so that you start to become aware. Um, Using your own energy instead of channeling divine energy, that's huge. That's something that I go with my students actually. And trying to hold more than your system can actually sustain. And then, you know, thinking there's something wrong with you when you just don't know what you don't know. And this capacity is deeply directly tied to your nervous system. When your nervous system's overloaded, your boundaries weaken, your field opens too much, and you start taking on a bunch of stuff that's not yours. Your system's not stable and your energy won't be either. So when it comes to, oh, you have client sessions, not but you are feeling vulnerable or not able to be in the right mindset, right? It's like a proactive way of navigating your life than reactive. And that's kind of the approach that I like to teach my students and my clients, because the more aware we are, the more we can do something about it. The more that we can create an action or take action and create a game plan on what you actually want your life to look like. And if you're someone that just kind of like lollygags through life and wonder why everything that you need isn't happening, um, it's time to make a game plan on how do we get there. Or maybe you're very aware, very aware of what's going on in your life, but you're just not quite sure what needs to change because you don't know. You don't know how energy works. You don't know how the energy channels work for proper harmony, proper energy flow. When you do learn this skill set, though, you're going to feel grounded. You're going to feel stable. You can hold more without burning out. You can trust what you're receiving. You can show up with confidence. Your channel becomes clean and stable and reliable. This is exactly what I'm walking people through inside my new energetic capacity masterclass. This is going to help you to actually see where you're leaking energy, what's not yours, and what your system can actually hold, and learn how to um, make changes that's going to help you to stop taking other people's stuff, to prevent yourself from getting to the point of where you feel burnt out. Your energy equals the amount you're able to serve. So if your energy is leaking, you don't fully show up. You probably burn out. You hold yourself back. You can't carry a bigger mission if your energy is constantly draining you, draining out of you, people sucking it out of you. Being an intuitive person is not the same as being a trained professional. There are a lot of people out here trying to build their life, their work, their purpose on a system that is always leaking energy in a way that is not sustainable, in a way that is out of integrity, because ultimately you're going to imprint on your clients your tiny little habits. And so if you want to make the most impact, you want to help the most people, you want to take your clients deep and actually get them results that are lasting. You gotta you gotta get yourself looked at. You gotta fix your own energy leaks. You gotta be solid. You gotta be a sovereign version of you that is someone that is worthy of leading, of being followed by others. And I don't say worthy in like a sense of like, oh, you have to earn it. I more so mean like being in integrity with how you show up in your life, in your daily actions, and learning and educating yourself on how to be the best version of you that you can be, of liberating yourself from other people's energy in your field. It's just like the most foundational thing that gets overlooked in this field. So if you are experiencing this, if you're feeling sensitive but drained, um, if you're taking on other people's stuff, And maybe you know you are, or maybe throughout this you've kind of picked up on a couple things. Maybe you are taking on other people's stuff. Um, I would highly recommend joining the Energetic Capacity Masterclass. That's what it's called. I go much deeper into how energy actually works so that you can start understanding what's going on in your field and learn how to hold more good, release that's what's not yours so that you can hold more um, of what you actually do want. I am also offering energy leak scans if you're interesting, or if you're interested, where I actually reflect back what energy leaks that you have. The link will be in the show notes if you want to go deeper. But yes, I'm so excited about this masterclass. It feels like it's finally time. This has been in the works for like 6 to 8 months, and it feels the timing is right for these frequencies to be released into the world. The divine spirit has said yes. This is this is the time. Without you, your clients are not going to be able to do what they need to do in their lives to heal and to grow and to evolve and to break generational curses and be better with how they show up in their relationships and with their relationship to themselves. Like, if you haven't taken the time to think about the domino effect of your personal work, this self mastery, just to hear and take a moment to think about that. The better that you are, the more able you're able to show up, to serve, to impact, the more that those who are soul contracted to work with you in this lifetime will be able to find you, because that's, remember, I said you become magnetic. They are able to find you and start receiving from you, and you're both going to be able to rise and elevate and liberate these parts of yourself, and start loving these wounded parts, and start accepting the shadow parts of you. And it is such a liberating, and I don't know any other word besides liberating. It's such a liberating process where you get to wake up in the morning and love your life. Know that you're making an impact in the world. Know that you're leaving this world better than when you started. And when I'm on my deathbed, and I say this a lot, so if I'm repeating myself, I want to make sure that I don't regret anything. I want to make choices and decisions based off of, did I show up to my fullest capacity? Did I follow the next breadcrumb of where spirit was leading me? And if you're listening to this, I'm guessing that you're meant to watch that masterclass. It's very low cost. Um, I'm trying to make it accessible so that you guys get this information, because once you get this, everything changes. Once you understand how your energy channel works, the energy channel flow, how it flows through you, you're going to stop feeling so hindered, and you're going to finally feel like you're capable. So I trust that this served you. The link will be in the show notes. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me. But I will see you guys on the next episode. Go out there and share your light with the world. And that includes yourself, letting yourself experience your own greatness, your own bigness, your own capacity for potential. Have a lovely evening. Namaste.